What if I told you modern Christianity doesn't actually follow Jesus? Not really. Sure, his name is on the label, but when you actually compare the messages, when you pay attention, you start to see it. Jesus was just the opening act, the headliner, the guy Christians really follow. That's Paul. And once you realize that, everything changes. Imagine this. You're standing before God, ready to give account. You devoted your life to Jesus. You went to church. You read the Bible. You believed. And then God says, "Why did you follow Paul instead of me?" Yeah, that's going to be awkward. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. You were separated from God by Paul. Not by sin, not by Satan, by a man who never met Jesus, claimed to hear a voice in his head, and rewrote the rules to center himself. Let's rewind. Jesus said he came only for the lost sheep of Israel. He taught obedience to God's law. He told people to keep the commandments, every single one. Not one letter of the law will pass away. If you want eternal life, keep the commandments. That's what Jesus actually said. No faith alone. No, just believe. No, repeat after me prayer. Jesus gave you a path to God. Paul gave you a shortcut. Now enter Paul. He never met Jesus. He's out there killing Christians. Then one day, flash of light, voice from nowhere. "Hey Paul, it's me, Jesus." No witnesses, no confirmation, no questions, just belief. And from that moment, Paul becomes the true architect of Christianity. He says, "You're not under the law. The law brings death. Just believe in Jesus and you're saved." He overrides the people who actually knew Jesus. He contradicts what Jesus taught. And today, Christians follow Paul, not the teacher, not the Messiah, not the man who walked the earth. Jesus said, "The law stands until the end of time." Paul said, "The law is obsolete." Jesus said, "Salvation is through obedience." Paul said, "Salvation is through faith alone." That's not clarification. That's a hostile takeover. Here's the punch to the gut. If you lived like Jesus told you to, Paul would call you enslaved to the law. But if you ignore Jesus and follow Paul, modern Christianity calls you saved. How twisted is that? Let's be real. Jesus offered a God of compassion, a God of justice, a God who cared what kind of person you were. Paul turned it into a contract. Sign here. Believe this. Repeat after me. Doesn't matter what you do. Just believe. Jesus made salvation a path. Paul made it a product. So, yeah, you were separated from God by Paul. He changed the terms. He silenced the people who actually walked with Jesus. And for 2,000 years, the world has been following his version of the truth. If you're a Christian and this made you uncomfortable, good, because that means you're still thinking, still questioning, still willing to ask what no one else around you will. And maybe that's exactly what Jesus would want.